Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be speaking to you about this book, The Trials of Apollo by Rick Riordan. And it's been quite a buzz about this one because Rick is a super popular author and I, among a lot of other people, adore his books. And as you might deduce from the title, this is about the god Apollo. He's the main character of this book. And unfortunately he has gotten on the bad side of Zeus, so he's punished by being transformed into a mortal and dumped in a dumpster in the middle of New York City. From there he needs to take his way to Camp Half-Blood and to complete a few quests in order to regain his divinity. That's basically the plot of this. And of course Apollo can't do everything by himself because he's just a mortal and he's not even a talented mortal anymore. He has help of a few demigods, Percy Jackson as one of them, as many of you I guess are excited about. I really like that he appears in this book again. And Apollo is, you know Apollo, if you read Percy Jackson you know who Apollo is, and he's this, even for a god he has a huge ego. He thinks he's the best and smartest and brightest, and he still kind of keeps this mentality even though he's now immortal and not even a very talented mortal, just a kind of scared and wimpy mortal. So he doesn't really do anything, but he still considers himself a lot better than other people. And that's of course, it's him into some troublesome situations, and it's very funny to hear his narrative in this thing because he has that perspective that just doesn't at all go with who he is now. Apollo is like the most hilarious person ever. Like if you like Percy, if you like Leo, then you will love Apollo. He is just doing so many jokes, and his perspective, just the whole story, he just makes it come alive a bit more. And yeah, he really does have a great narrative. Apollo is also the god of poetry, so he starts every chapter with a little haiku, and they're really hilarious. You know, in the Percy Jackson you kind of get this little chapter title that kind of reflects on what's going to happen in the chapter, but in here it is a haiku instead, and they are quite hilarious. I often laugh out loud when I read them because you can't tell how they're going to relate to the story before you read it, and when you read it you just find it so great. And as always, Rick Riordan does a great job with his representation. In this book there are quite a few sexualities represented, such as homosexuality and bisexuality, and it's really not a problem with him. He doesn't make a big fuss about it, he just, that's how it is and it's no biggie. So yeah, I love Rick for that, and also that he kind of respects youth culture in a way that most adults don't, because people tend to look down on, for example, K-pop, that it's only something little girls do and not really any person that knows anything about culture doesn't like it. But Rick really respects it, and he makes the god love it, like it. And I think that's very important for everybody, especially since this book is aimed towards younger children. It's important that they get to know that they deserve to be respected as well. With all his books I think Rick does this, and he does a good job. Yeah, I like it. I really like the way he kind of touches upon subjects that are quite central in young people's lives and kind of puts them into this book that still is very action-packed, so it appeals to a lot of people, but they still kind of learn something about life in the process. And I like also that Rick has kind of gone back to the one point of view perspective, because in Heroes of Olympus, where we follow many different demigods, I think it gets kind of jumpy, and I prefer this way when we can just see everything from one person's point of view and really get to know them. I think it's more uniform and I think it's easier to follow. And I like the way Rick's books kind of all resonate within the same world, but they all respect each other's universes, so they never crash and get, you know, points wrong. It takes the plot from, for example, Heroes of Olympus and just pushes it along a bit and makes it go even deeper, and how it resolves after the last book. Even though this isn't about Heroes of Olympus, it still gets intertwined and help us figure out what's happened in that series. And it's obviously a part of a series. I think it's going to be a 5-part series. For being a first book in the series, I thought it was a very strong opening. It kind of set the board and presented all the characters and the main plot of that's going to be present in the whole series, but it still had a big adventure in itself, and it wasn't never boring. It didn't feel like it was just some preparation for the other books, but this one was really a wild ride in itself, and I wouldn't be too disappointed if, I mean, this could have been a temporary novel, except that it wasn't finished, the whole big plot thing. Yeah, I really think he did a great job with this book. And I have to say, I'm so excited for the next one. I think we're going to have some great combination of characters. But I think it's going to be a problem with how serious it's going to be, because the characters that we're going to meet in the next one are not really the serious ones. They're all quite hilarious and fluffy, and they're your favorites. You probably know which ones I'm talking about. It's going to be great. I'm so psyched about that. So this one is great if you like adventure, if you like something fast-paced, something that will keep you entertained. So if you like that, you know what you're going to read this summer. That was everything I thought of this book, as it might not have come as a surprise, but I really enjoy Rick Riordan and I like almost all of his books, so I did enjoy this one as well. But have you read this one? And in that case, what did you think? Did you agree, or am I just completely wrong about this book? Please let me know in the comments down below, and thank you for watching this video. Bye!